Yo, good morning, y'all. How y'all doing, man? Yo, this dude better Dom, and as usual, we rocking for the Lord, man. It's daytime flow. Put your shades on. Yo, I just started this, and right now I haven't really been getting any real frequency because, as the chosen one of the Lord, I'm starting to understand the dynamics of what actually happens when there's smear campaigns and scapegoating and all of these different things. But ultimately, if this information reaches you and you like it, give it a thumbs up, like it, subscribe, tell a friend so they can tell a friend, and this can, be ultimately the conversation that dominates society opposed to the conversations that dominate society right now. Now, today, I want to talk about narcissistic circles. I want to talk about narcissistic circles because, narcissists pretty much dominate society right now. And this is why society is in the turmoil it's in right now. And literally within these narcissistic circles, these are all people that what brought them together is what they have in common is deep rooted trauma that they'll never tell anyone other than maybe themselves because only they can relate to what it is that they experienced in their childhood. And ultimately, when they get together, their objective is to kill, steal, and destroy. Literally, from my observation in regards to narcissists, I really feel like they're an extension of the Nephilim. Because the Nephilim, they were the offsprings of the fallen angels. And they were just a curse. And literally, it was an abomination of nature. So literally, they were giants. And, excuse me, they were giants and they devoured everything. They ate up all the food, they ate up all the birds, they ate up all the fish. Then they started eating they started eating people. And then when they couldn't eat any more people, they started to devour each other. And that's what the narcissists are doing, and that's how they handle empaths. They look at empaths like something to devour. And once they devour all the empaths and there's nothing else to devour, what do? They turn on themselves. Now, narcissists, if a person knows they're a narcissist and they know they're in contact with a narcissist, the toxicity within them both, it's electricity. And they're going to want that action. They're going to want it. But at the same time, they know that if they stick in it too long, they can ultimately devour each other. So what they do is, these would be, how they move. Like I said, narcissists, they're always going to move in circles because they need other people for energy. You know what I'm saying? They're spiritually dead. So if you're spiritually dead and you have no emotions, what is the inside of you that would inspire you each day to feel good about something? Nothing. It doesn't exist. So what they do is they get into different relationships. They, with empaths, and they form little unions and they gather flying monkeys, and behind the scenes they do the most treacherous things, man. They do things that is so surreal to you that you just brush the idea off that they would have went that far, that they would have crossed those boundaries. But they did, and they do. And they'll continue to do that because they don't have what we have, which is a heart. Now, like I said, they move around in packs. And literally, everything that you wouldn't do, they do. They feel like the people that they hurt, the reason why they get hurt is because they're not in tune with the real reality of life. The fake life that they live, they feel like it's really the true reality of life. Man, everybody robs everybody. Man, nobody gives a fuck about nobody. What do you mean? Every guy cheats. Every woman cheats on a guy, and if times get hard, this is their ideologies. And this is what they'll put into people's minds when people are in a rough patch in their life, because this is when you're most vulnerable. You know, and these people, if you don't have a soul that will give you the inspiration that you need to find peace and happiness, then, you know, you're gonna destroy other people's peace and happiness, whether they know it or not. They don't have the emotions to gauge it, you know? So what they do is, if you're a strong person, you're dealing with a narcissist. If the narcissist feels like you're too strong for them, they're gonna recruit flying monkeys. Now, flying monkeys are people that will play both sides. You know, it could be people on your side, that's your family, friends, associates, co-workers, or it could be people on the other side. But they'll recruit these people to gather information about you so that the nucleus of the drama in your life can spread lies, rumors, and create a narrative about you that is so toxic that literally it just seems abnormal. Now, the people they tell us to, they'll hear it naturally, but they'll also see the missing gaps in the story. And most times, the people that spread these tales and all that, other people already have their perception about who these people are anyway. So sometimes people fall into the narrative because, you know, they might be narcissists as well. Because, you know, at the end of the day, it takes heartless people to do heartless things, man. Birds of a feather flock together. There is some magnitude of this spirit within you for you to entertain things that you know is wrong, you know? So like I said, they'll try to destroy you in any type of way that they can, because ultimately they feel like what it is you have a soul they don't. So they see this, and because you chose to rock with God, obviously, you know, you're good at things that they acknowledge they're not good at. And instead of them viewing that as a blessing that they're connected to, and your rewards will be their rewards as well, it turns to disdain and envy and hate and jealousy, and they just want to destroy it because they feel like it's supposed to be theirs. It's the entitlement. And you got to understand, these people, when they were violated when they was younger, as adults, they feel like, yo, you know what? I've never had something of mine. Everything that was mine was taken away from me, and I can't tell anybody about it. So when is something going to be mine? You know, and when they think like that, it becomes a fixation and it becomes an addiction. You know, they're obsessed. And most times they know how to beat the system because the mass majority of them have mental health histories. It's in their history. It's in their history. It's documented that they have post-traumatic stress disorder. It's documented that they've had delusional bouts. It's documented that they're paranoid schizophrenic. It's documented that they suffer through bouts of depression. It's documented. You know? And the weakness within these people causes them to feel attacked by the strength within you. It's literally never your problem. It's just you defending yourself from something you literally don't understand, but because of their mental health experiences, they know how to take your response and make it look like how they were when they lost control before some medicine or, you know, something, you know, happened in their life to where it didn't ground them, but you know, I guess they became more mature to how their actions were being used against them, and they humbled themselves enough just to be able to move about and act normal on the surface. But they have to feed themselves. They're like vampires. That's why I call them energy vampires. They have to feed themselves in order to sustain. They have to latch on to loving people in order to learn and absorb characteristic traits to blend in. And this is why, you know, when they roam in these circles, this is literally legions of demons. It's just that in this realm, we have a different name for everything else. People in the know understand the distinguishing differences and they move accordingly. But then you have a lot of people who don't know and they take everything for face value. This is why So many people feel horrible when people die and they go to funerals. In real life, we've seen time and time again that we're born and that we ultimately have an expiration. So at what point in time will people grasp the concept that we're only here to learn about ourselves and where we have been failing in life in order to make the corrections? So therefore, at the end of the day, when we make a choice about how we want to live our life, our time will expire, and we'll wake up to the true judgment of our actions now. You know, people only want to call out to God when they're in dire situations. Do you realize that? When people drunk, this is when people admit that God is real. People drunk, oh God, please, sober me up, God. I feel so twisted. I won't do this again, please. You get locked up. Oh God, God, please don't let them find that. God, please don't let them find that. But then ultimately they find it. And it's not because God wasn't watching over you. It's because you wasn't watching over yourself. You know, maybe you needed to get caught with that because the way that you was living, obviously, you was headed down the wrong path, and God loves you so much that he would rather alter your route, have you go sit down, think about the things you've done, think about the circles you call family, think about the female or male that you call your partner, and think about whether they truly are your partner. You see, because what I realized as a grown 44-year-old man, the reason why I detached myself from different circles is because I was blaming these circles for what I allowed them to do to me. And now, when I extract myself from the equation and these problems are still coming to me, now it's a problem for real. Because I stepped away from the situation to preserve my energy, to preserve my integrity, and now, you know, you want to grab at my boot cuffs. It's the bucket and the crab effect. It's like, no, where are you going? And they work in packs, and you can distinguish one from the other always by their actions. They're going to smile. They're going to say things. You know, they're good with their tongue. That's the serpent within them. But what is their action saying to you? This is what you have to pay attention to. Because people will make their absence and all these other things seem normal. But it's not normal. It's abnormal. It's sick. You know, it's hidden agenda driven. And for somebody, you know, if this is unbeknownst to you, then you're literally stepping into traps. See, me, I was the scapegoat. I'm the black sheep within my family. And they work against me and they operate against me. They don't support anything I do. And this has been for years. Yet, at the same time, they'll gaslight and project all these things onto me as if I'm a problem. All right, well, if I'm a problem, how did we get here? And how come I'm the only one that talks about it? Because at the end of the day, these same people, like I said, narcissists roves in packs. These same people will be the people that spun all the webs that got everybody else hating you. And what they don't anticipate is the situation at some point in time reversing and them being exposed and being everything that they said you are. Why do you think these people come up with the most craftiest ideas and the most craftiest ways of who you of portraying you to be? Because they're taking characteristics from themselves and they're throwing it on you. And when you don't know that it's happening, of course, you know, you can't defend yourself from it. Of course, it has some room to seem like it's true. In a society where people are yearning for toxicity, that's, you know, people thrive off that because nobody have any particular direction that they feel is solid enough for them to go in and feel happy. So they're just like, yo, people are oversaturated with toxicity. And the devil wants us to stay like that because literally this is the matrix. This is the matrix. Everything I experienced with rogue cops and shit like that, those are the Agent Smiths. Those are the Agent Smiths. And it's like literally, I tend to be so right lawfully into regards to what they did to me personally. Deprivation of rights under the color of law. With whole due process is missing. And in the interest of law, the case should be dismissed. You know, these guys I used to work for, the Shinats, they've been throwing money around. These narcissistic circles. I told the judge, Tretzler, that the whole situation was fake. She told me the indictment wasn't fake. But nonetheless, it got dismissed, like I said, because it was fake. And when I talk about these things, it makes them very angry. Why wouldn't it? Because it's exposure. And as an earth angel, that's what I do. I expose corruption. And it is my right to do it, as it is yours. We got to start having the right conversations in society and stop competing with one another for attention and validation. Whatever I do on Facebook or any platform that I'm on, I'm literally just trying to share something with people to better ourselves. And as I'm doing that, you have these narcissistic circles throwing monkey wrenches in the equation to where is parts of my character of the past has to protect myself in the present right now, like Tupac and Martin Luther King mixed together. You know, I want to thank y'all for entertaining this conversation this morning. Like I said, I really don't expect too many viewers because literally the intention of the devil within the city that I live in is to make me feel alienated, to make me feel rejected, to make you think that the things that I'm saying right now aren't the things that'll help you out the situations that you're in. But the only way you'll find out is if you actually tune in. I hope all of y'all have a blessed day. To the wicked, I'm going to pray for you and hope that something positive can come from this situation so that you can change your way for the future. It's Do Better Dom, man. We rocking for the Lord. Peace.